Kirk and Rasheeda Frost of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now, what we do know about this couple is that they have been married since 1999. We also know that Kirk fathered an outside child with a lady that he met at a strip club. She goes by the Instagram handle of Jasmine Blue. However, her real name is Jasmine Washington. And it's been speculated that Jasmine is a paid actress, but we do know that actually the situation is very true and that Kirk did actually cheat on Rasheeda and bring an outside baby into the household. But it is also speculated that Rasheeda doesn't even like Cannon and don't want to have anything to do with Jasmine or the baby that her husband fathered. Well, guys, before we jump into this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Kirk Frost is a music executive producer and he's also a manager. Now, the name of his company is called D-Low Entertainment. Now, I know y'all wondering, like, D-Low, isn't that like down low? I mean, that's what it sounds like. And listen, people have speculated that, Kirk, he did go that way. Now, that is what the streets are saying. I can't confirm or deny, but it is interesting that he would name his record label D-Low, which to me is down low. I don't know, Kirk. Are you trying to tell us something? But that is the name of his record label. Now, prior to Kirk getting with Rasheeda, he did have 3 other children that he fathered with a separate woman. In addition to that particular relationship, he did welcome another son with a separate woman. And now, with Jasmine, that is another son. And then with the 2 that Rasheeda has, brings his grand total to about 7 children. Now, the purpose of this the purpose of this video, is does Rasheeda really genuinely like Kirk's son, Cannon? Because I don't believe that she does. And after I watched the episode where her and Jasmine and Kirk sat down, it just showed that Rasheeda had a lot of disdain for Jasmine. And being that there was a situation with Cannon and his mom, Jasmine, and also the Department of Children and Family Services being involved, and Rasheeda didn't seem to care at all. So my analysis is Rasheeda don't even like this little boy. Jasmine is a self-proclaimed stripper. When she met Kirk, she was a stripper. She stated that he had bought her a car. He was pretty much paying her bills and was a trick for her. However, once she got pregnant, it seemed that things had changed, and then she had taken him to court, and somehow they ended up settling out of court. But the issue here is, does Rasheeda genuinely like this baby, her son? Is Rasheeda genuinely stepping up to the plate and trying to help Kirk's son? Or does she actually despise the baby? Because y'all know how some women can be. They'll say they can accept it, but in all actuality, they never liked the baby in the first place. Now, guys, I'm going to get into a situation where DFACS, and I'm going to say the name because you guys might not know what DFACS is. It's the Department of Children and Family Services, was called on Jasmine, and it had something to do with her son being late for school. Now, what Jasmine said to Rasheeda is, hey, I didn't think you cared. I've never spoke to you. I've never heard from you. And Rasheeda makes a remark like, you don't have to hear from me because Cannon knows. Well, Cannon is a child, so what exactly does Cannon actually know? So it kind of seemed like Rasheeda was trying to deflect from the actual question, because what Jasmine was saying is, dang, Rasheeda, I didn't think you cared. I hadn't heard from you. I hadn't talked to you. And it's kind of a surprise to hear from you now. And we all see this. I know I've saw things like this, is when a man veers off and messes around with another woman and get another woman pregnant, the woman who he was really in a relationship will say she'll accept him back. But in all actuality, she's bitter. She's bitter at the fact that he went and got with another woman and had a baby. So I think this is what we're getting with Rasheeda. I don't think she accepts Cannon. I don't think she likes Jasmine, and I don't think that she cares much about the child. So let's kind of get into that video clip where they kind of discuss it, and you guys can see Rasheeda's demeanor.
For real, it's like, what is going on now with the defect situation? A defects call, that's a problem. That can get you in trouble. There's no excuses as a parent.
The case got dismissed.
What
I have a problem with is that this is our first time meeting, and maybe it's because of this defect situation. But why are you so concerned now?
I've always concerned, and I've always loved him since the first day I
heard from you.
You don't have to hear from me because Cannon knows what's up. That's all that matters.
You understand why it's a little weird now?
But it's not weird.
Because
no, it's genuine.
Now all of a sudden.
I've always been there since I decided to forgive this. If I forgave him, I got to take everything that comes with it, and that's Cannon. Y'all figure some out so we can get this boy.
Now, when Rasheeda sits down with Jasmine, she makes it seem like, hey, I forgave my husband. So since I forgave my husband, I have to go with what comes with him, which is accepting Cannon. Now, I don't know what y'all got from that. I did not see any type of acceptance in Rasheeda's demeanor. She seemed to be very combative and she seemed very bitter. Now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't be upset, but I feel like, if you are going to accept, your husband back and say, hey, we're going to work this out, then why have so much, vitriol for the woman and the child? Because I didn't see this as her trying to help in this situation, nor trying to assist with, helping them work it out. Because, Rasheeda has her own son, and I'm sure defects is not being called on her. So it seems like Jasmine, considering, the lady is a stripper. I don't know. Maybe she sleep. Apparently, she needs some help. So I feel like, when there are two parents, step up and help this lady. But I feel like Rasheeda is definitely bitter at her husband. And, well, I wouldn't say her husband because it seems like she's forgiven him. But it seems like she has a lot of smoke for Jasmine. And I don't think she cares about Carter at all. Well, here's the deal. Women say all the time, I forgave my man, I forgave my husband. But deep down inside, they may have forgiven him for what he did, but inside they cannot really get over the fact that this man ventured out and not only got another woman pregnant, but created a whole child. And I feel like Rasheeda is definitely holding this in. And I just don't believe she gives a damn about Jasmine or that baby. Because listen, Rasheeda has her own son. And I feel like, listen, if you're going to accept this man's son, you guys need to help. Jasmine also speaks about, Kurt is supposed to get Cannon and he never does. And you'll see Rasheeda say, well, it's not going to always go as you had planned. Well, when you are doing a shared custody arrangement, it has nothing to do with going as you had planned, because if you say that you're going to get the child for X amount of days, then those are just the days that you get the child for. So I think that Rasheeda just does not accept this child. I just believe that she does not. I believe she forgives her husband because she feels like she probably has to, at least make him feel like she forgives him so he don't continue to cheat. But as I look at these two ladies, they look just alike. So we know Kirk that owns D-Lo Records most definitely has a type of woman, because as I look at these two, they actually look like they can be sisters. But do you guys think that Rasheeda actually likes Cannon? Now, when I say does she like Cannon, by no means am I saying she would harm the child, but sometimes you just don't like them. And I just feel like she just doesn't care. She doesn't like Jasmine and could care less about her son, because you have to understand this was a baby that was created by her husband. So I feel like, hey, Rasheeda could care less. I feel like she can do a lot more, especially being a mother who has a son that's in, around that same age group, but you never get to see your son. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I think Rasheeda is definitely the bitter wife in this story. Should she be bitter? I think, if you're going to choose to be bitter, then maybe you should have just left the relationship. But we know that's not going to happen between the two of these two, because it has been stated that they're in a partnership anyway. So y'all got to let me know what y'all think in the comments. And as always, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let me know what you guys think in the comments.